All right, so this one is conditional statements. So remember, the if part of my conditional statement is the hypothesis. So if a number is odd, the then part is my conclusion. Then it is an integer and a prime number. If a number is odd, then it is an integer and a prime number. Not always true, by the way. So the question says, what is the conditional? So use the following, what is the conclusion of the conditional? So I highlighted that in green because it should be the green part that I've underlined. So it is definitely not a number is odd, because we already know that is the conditional, that is the hypothesis of the statement. Can't be that one. A number is prime is part of it, but it's not the whole thing. A number is either an integer or a prime number, and mine says and, so I can't use that one. So it's got to be D. A number is both an integer and a prime number. All right, same question, but this time I'm being asked for the hypothesis. So remember, hypothesis is the beginning. If a number is odd, conclusion is it is an integer and a prime number. It is the then part of the statement. So this one is asking for the hypothesis. So the hypothesis is the beginning statement. So this one should be a number is odd. Okay, this one is talking about a theorem or postulate to justify the following statement. And the statement says that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So let's first figure out where angle 1 and angle 2 or angle 3 are. Here's angle 1 and here's angle 3. Now notice that angle 1 and angle 3, they make an x. Here's one part of the x and here's the other part of the x. So because they make an x, that's our vertical angles. So this one should be the vertical angle theorem. Those are vertical angles. They have the same vertex, but they go in different directions. Okay, on this one, we're looking for angle 2 and angle 3, and we're trying to find the value of x. So where's angle 2? Angle 2 is 2x plus 5. Here's angle 2, so I'm going to write 2x plus 5 in the picture. Angle 3 is equal to 85. Here's angle 3. Angle 3 is equal to 85. Now, how are angles 2 and 3 related? What I see is that they form a straight angle, or 180 degrees. So let's change that color, 180 degrees. So I'm going to write the equation that 2x plus 5 plus 85 is equal to 180 degrees. Now I'm going to solve this equation. So 2x is equal to 90. I added 85 and 5. That was 90, and I subtracted that from 180. So x is 45. Value of x, 45. All right, this one's not hard, y'all. This is just making sure you can find congruency symbols in a picture. So the first thing it says is that AD is 8. So where the heck is AD? AD is right here. AD is 8, and it's congruent to BC, so BC is also 8. AB is 12. Where's AB? AB is right here. AB is 12. It's congruent to DC, so DC is also 12. So the question asks, I think that says, what is BC? If it's asking for BC, we just solved for that. We just looked at that, and BC is 8. Now, if we are misreading that and it says DC, then DC would be 12. One more fun thing would be, what's the perimeter of this polygon? So we would add up all the sides. So we'd have 24 plus 12. And so our answer would be 36 if we were looking for the perimeter, although it's not. All right, now I'm going to use the appropriate theorem to find the measure of angle 1. So where's angle 1? That's the first thing we need to figure out. Here's angle 1. When the measure of angle 2, here's angle 2, is 140 degrees. So how are angle 1 and angle 2 related? Well, they form this straight angle, and all straight angles are 180 degrees. So I would just say that angle 1 plus 140 is equal to 180. Subtract 140 from both sides, and angle 1 is equal to 40. So this, angle 1, is 40 degrees. Okay, on this one, we have to find the value of the variable. The variable is x. So I want to know how those two angles are related to each other. So this angle and this angle are vertical angles, which means that they are congruent. So my equation that I would write would be that 4x is equal to 70 minus x. I would add x to both sides, so 5x would equal 70. I'd divide by x, or by 5, and that would give me, let's see, 1, 2, 14 for x. And all it wants is the value of the variable, so I'm going to say that's 14. If it had asked me for a measure of an angle, then I would have to take that 14 and plug it back in somewhere up here. Okay, this is another distance formula one. And I'll be honest, whenever it asks me to find somebody else's error, I always screw that up. So what I'm going to do here is all I'm going to do is just do the problem myself first, and then I can go back and see what the issues might be. So the first thing I would do is label my x's and y's, x1, y1, x2, y2. Then I'm going to find the distance is the square root of the difference between the x's. So I would go 3 minus 1, quantity squared, plus difference in the y's, so 5 and 8, so I'd do 8 minus 5, quantity squared. And then they show each step, so let's do that. The square root, 3 minus 1 is 2, so 2 squared. And 8 minus 5 is 3, so 3 squared. So that would give me the square root of 4 plus 9, or the square root of 13, and so that would be approximately 3 point something. I'm going to go like 3.7. So close. 3.6. Okay, so now let's look at our choices here. He says, let's see, the question is, what's the mistake? Well, gosh, it's right there in the very beginning. Maybe I didn't have to do all that work. 3 minus 1 and 8 minus 5 is what I'm looking for, and they've got 1 minus 8. So they did the x here and the y here, and then 5 minus 3, they did the 5 and the 3, the x, the y there and the x there. So in the first step, he wrote the distance formula out incorrectly. It should be 1 plus, nope, not right. In the second row, he combined terms. Nope, it's not in the second row. So it wasn't in the second row that he made the mistake. So let's go here. Nope, nope. In the first row, he substituted the coordinates incorrectly. The row should say 1 minus 3. We said 3 minus 1, but remember, the order isn't important as long as the right numbers are there, so that's right. And then 5 minus 8, we said 8 minus 5, but that's right. So it should be C on that one. All right, this one's kind of weird, so we're going to have to read a lot of the solutions, and I'll be honest with you, when I tried this one on the review and on the test, I did have to get it wrong once before I got it correct. So the question says, use indirect reasoning to draw a conclusion about the following statement. Every student in Mr. Brown's first period class got an A on the French test. Anna got a B on the test. So what's our indirect reasoning? Someone in Mr. Brown's first period class did not have to take the French test. I don't think that's it. It says every student in the class, so that would be all students. Anna is not in Mr. Brown's first period class. Okay, that could be a possibility. So let's put a little star next to that one. Anna is not taking a class taught by Mr. Brown. Okay, that might be it. Anna is in Mr. Brown's first period class. So I'm going to say no, because if she were, then she would not have gotten a B. Anna's first period class is not French. That would be a possibility. Anna is not taking a French test, but she took this test, so it can't be that one. So she did take this French test. Anna is not taking a French class taught by Mr. Brown. I think that could be it. And Anna's test was not for a French class. Well, it was on this test, so we cannot do that one. Okay, so let's go back to the ones that we still have. So we said Anna is not in Mr. Brown's first period class. Anna is not taking a class taught by Mr. Brown. Anna's first period class is not French. Anna is not taking a French class taught by Mr. Brown. So I think our answer here is that Anna is not in Mr. Brown's first period class. She is in Mr. Brown's class, but it is not first period. Now I'll tell you, I would have picked one or two of these other ones and gotten it wrong at least once before I would have gotten to that conclusion. So this is the one that I would go with. Check it out, see if it works. Okay, so this one says find the measure of each variable, find the value of each variable and the measure of each angle. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to mark up my picture and then I'm going to move these things kind of out of the way for us. So we've got some room to work. Okay, so I know that these two angles are congruent because they're vertical angles. So that's the first equation that I'm going to write. I'm going to say that x plus 10 is equal to 4x minus 35. Now, I don't like that. There's a lot of junk going on there, so let's go ahead and simplify that right now and get it out of the way. We are going to add 35 to both sides, and that's going to give me 45 over here. I'm going to subtract x, and that's going to give me 3x. I'm going to divide here, and x is going to be 15. So I've already got my x value. So x is 15, which is awesome because that's going to help me on the next part. Now I've got to be able to find y. And the way I can do that is there's a relationship between these angles. So either this angle right here and this angle right here are supplementary. So that means they form a straight angle. They form 180 degrees. So I can add those together and get 180. Or I could do that with these two over here, 4x minus 35 and then the 6y minus x minus 10. But let's be honest. The one on the left looks a whole heck of a lot easier. So I'm going to use these two guys right here, x plus 10 and 6y minus x minus 10. So I'll do that one in red. So we have a different color. So we have x plus 10 plus 6y minus x minus 10 is equal to 180 degrees. Now I got a lot of stuff I can clean up here, y'all. I've already got 15 for x. So I can go ahead and plug that x for 15 right here. And then I've also got some like terms that I can combine. So that actually, I don't even have to do that much because these x's are going to cancel out. Look at that. X minus x, that's gone. Don't even have to worry about that. So now make sure your handwriting doesn't suck so that you know that this is actually a 10. 10 minus 10 cancels out as well. So look at, it's my lucky day, y'all. So these guys cancel out. So now I'm just staring at 6y is equal to 180. So I divide, and that means that y is equal to 30. Sweet. So now I've got y equals 30. And now to find the measure of each angle, I got to plug it back in. Do not do this on your own. Y'all, use your calculator. There is no reason to make silly mistakes here. So BMQ is this guy right here. So BMQ, this is going to be 15 plus 10. So that's going to be 25 degrees. This guy over here, DME, is also 25. Look at that. I didn't have to do any work because I already set them up that they were equal. And then I could go back in and plug some stuff in. But you know what? I know these things are supplementary. So I know I just have to do 180 minus 25 in my calculator. And that gives me 155 for this angle. Bam. Work smarter, not harder.